know what breed he is. So I would probably go with like a fawn colored steer because that's what color he is. Other things you can ID them off of is like if they have like an ear tag or a brand of some sort. Okay. So if we look at the number 3 steer, what are some things that we kind of notice? Yeah, I'd say, yeah, he's clean fronted, but he isn't necessarily as clean fronted as 2 probably was.
He's got a lot more muscle and he's a lot, like, he has a lot more depth of body.
I would agree, he's pretty deep. He's kind of tight right here. That's not because of his fat. He's a little bit more waist front. You can see his fat deposits up in his brisket area. So deep, yes, I'd say deep. Is there anything else you notice about this steer? I wouldn't necessarily say he's really all that muscled. If you compare it, I'll pull up 2 really quick. If we look at 2 again, a good indicator of muscle, you can kind of see with his neck, there's that hump of muscle right there. And you'll see it again from the rear view. So if you look at 3, what we're doing, he doesn't really have that hump of muscle. Doesn't mean he doesn't have muscle, he's just maybe not as heavily muscled right there.
Probably want to do a little bit of clarification here. That hump is not necessarily all that desirable when you're looking at anything besides bulls.
Yeah.
Okay, so this steer is actually a lot cleaner and a lot more youthful throughout his front 1/3, especially when you look at the top side of his neck. So his neck's actually a good thing. Where we truly look at muscle development is over his top, out of his hip, and throughout his quarter. So I wouldn't really necessarily say this guy's heavy or light muscled off of a side profile, because I don't know. He might be as narrow as a barn door, okay? Or he might be like a Mack truck gonna run like her over, okay? We don't know until we look at a different view, okay?
Okay, so here's his rear view.
Now you can say stuff about muscle.
So on number 2, if you kind of think back to what we had, he was, I guess you'd say, a little bit more rounder through his 1/3, back 1/3 right here. If you take aside from his ribs, which would be these right here, he's about like that. It's kind of, I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see. So would you use any terms to describe this one? Do you have any idea, Loden?
What do you think about his feet, West? Like, what do you notice about them?
They're kind of small, sort of.
Okay, they're kind of small. Okay, so is he a small-footed? Would you call him small-footed steer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of bounce off that. See how close his feet are positioned together? He's standing really narrow. He's probably a narrower bodied steer, just narrower at the base than some of the other ones we've looked at before. And that's not really a good thing either. So, does anybody notice anything about him? Well, you can kinda see that tennis ball I'm talking about earlier. When steers deposit fat, they deposit, tailhead, and then their cod, which was where their testicles were before they were castrated or banded. So you can kinda see that tennis ball starting to appear right here. So he's like a finished steer, definitely. Anything after maybe? Does anybody have anything else they'd like to point out? And here you can really kind of see what I was talking about with the brisket kind of being a little bit fattier.
How come she keeps stroking that brisket with the?
Good question. Okay, so when you show a beef animal, the stick that she's using is called a show stick, and you use that to position their feet. Because you don't want your steer standing all wonky like this. You want to set them up so they look the best. So, a lot of people just do like a square, like a rectangle, just square. These steers are putting back their forward leg a little bit. And usually the show stick is just used when you stroke their belly or their brisket. It's like a calmer relaxer. Would you agree? Like she shows.
Yeah.
It's like scratching your dog on the belly, kind of.
Yeah, just in that way, like they know that you're in control of stuff.
I'm gonna see if I can point it out. So if you look kind of between his two rear legs, that's the cod I was talking about earlier. You can kind of see the fat starting to get deposited down there. Here's another good view.
Those are not vegetables.
Yeah, that's fat.
She has a, I feel like it has a bit of a looser walk. Like the other two lines. Is the other two lines to be a bit stiffer in their walk?
I'd say he's pretty flexible.
Yeah.
He's flexible, is agile in his motion. He meets his stride and fills his track accurately.
So, how would you word that, Stover?
I would just say he's flexible in his structure. Or you can just say he sounds structured.
There you go, that's a better one. What I was trying to point out to you guys is he's probably the fattest steer of the class that we've definitely seen this far. He definitely has the most finish out of the other two by far. So. We'll look at number 4 now. Does anybody have an idea of what we identify this one as?
Reese, what color is he? What color is he, Reese? What color would you identify him as?
Dark brown.
Boom. Great job, Reese.
Yeah. And if you didn't notice, he also has an ear tag in his left ear. Another ID. If you can read the tag, that's even better. Sorry, I can't spell, guys. So, looking at this steer, you guys have any critiques or? Yeah, I would set up a little too strict.
But we don't care about that though. We're looking at the animal.
Yeah, so, clean fronted, I'd agree with that right there. Does anybody notice anything kind of about his body capacity from this side? Well, he's definitely a longer bodied steer than say like number 2 that we kind of critiqued as being shorter bodied. He is kind of hard to find. Does anybody notice anything else before I switch to view? Wes, do you notice anything about his feet now?
Yeah, they're bigger and like you can tell that he's heavier and like muscled and it's like on his butt.
Yeah, okay. Does anybody else? What about his feet? What do you notice? Is he standing like this?
He is a water stance.
Is he standing like this? Yeah, he's wider at the base, definitely. Wider at the
Oh.
feet.
He's a big-footed, heavy-muscled, wide-standing steer.
This one's a little bit easier to see. You can see these 2 lines right here. That's kind of his muscle definition. Would you say this steer's tight ribbed, Stover?
I particularly wouldn't say that. I would stick with, he's high. He is high in his flank. He's a little tighter in his heart girth, but I still think he has plenty of rib shape to be a functional fat steer.
Yeah, so you can kind of, here's his ribs right here, and they come out. So, tighter ribbed, I would definitely, I don't really have a good example of it, but, so right behind his shoulders, it would be really narrow. That would definitely be tighter ribbed. There's the front view, and you can kind of see he's standing pretty wide up front too.
Okay, peace out. Have a good day.
Yes, he did.
So does anything, sorry, Anybody have anything about that? What we just saw back in walking, moving around?
Yeah, what about you, Lauren? What do you think?
Do you think he moved around pretty easily? Do you seem to be having trouble? You can really see it from the rear view. His car. Right here. It doesn't have as much fat deposited in it as number 3. Definitely. You agree with that? I thought he moved pretty easily. I mean, he can get up and go. He'll be able to get to that feed trough or just move around your pasture pretty easily. So now we're gonna place the class. I'm just gonna let these play so you can look at it. So, I'll let you guys place it and then we'll all we'll say it out loud. So place your one that you think first and first. Place one that you think second, third, fourth, last. So does everybody have in last place? Okay. Catherine, where would you place it?
The last one?
No, place the class.
Oh,
class. What about you, Jacob?
The fourth one first, and yeah, pretty much the same thing that I can do.
Okay.
What'd you write down, Jacob?
With this, I got like for the numbers or like the notes.
Yep. What'd you write down for your placing?
Which one would you put in first?
Oh, four.
You can use this kind of as a guide too. These are the good things, those are the bad things.
I put fourth, third, and then first, and then second.
Okay. So you did 4, 3, 1, 2, right? Okay. What about you, Reese?
4, 2, 3, 1.
Becca?
I also did 4, 2, 3, 1.
Trenton?
4, 2, 3, 1.
What about you, Colton?
4, 2, 3, 1.
Warren?
4, 3, 2.
4. What about you, Noah?
2, 4, 3, 1.
Layton?
4, 2, 3, 1.
Okay. What about you, Logan?
4, 2, 3, 1.
Loden?
2, 4,
3, 1.
2, 4, 3, 1.
3, 2,
Sorry.
4, 1.
3, 2, 4, 1. 3.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would have placed this class 4, 2, 1, 3. I definitely agree with people who put the number 4 steer in first. He's definitely one of the most interesting steers of the class. There's a whole list of good things about him. He has a lot of potential. I would put 2 second. He is definitely a heavier muscled steer. He is clean fronted. Yes, he is kind of short bodied, but overall he kind of exhibits some of those traits that Ford exhibited. I would put 1 next because he is a higher cutability steer, and that's pretty much just about why. Because if you look at 3, he is definitely a fat steer. He's probably to the point of being over finished, and you don't like fat animals because that's a waste of profit. So that's why I placed it while I did. And I would have cut it, or will they cut it? 3, 5, 4. So, 2, 1, 3. You guys who placed it 4, 2, 1, 3 would have gotten a 46. Because classes are judged out of 50.
2, 4, 3, 1 would have a 43.
Okay. Do you want me to figure out scores for everybody? I definitely can. Okay.
Might explain how you're getting those.
Okay. So, each of these cuts are based off of how these are placed. So, to figure out your score, this is complex math, yes.
No, it's
So-
not. It's really easy. If you can add, you can do this.
Okay. So basically, we're gonna look at your placing. So we'll do this one first. So it's 4 over 2. Yes. Okay. So you wouldn't take minus 3. It's 4 over 1. Yes. So you wouldn't take minus 8. It's 4 over 3. Yes. So you basically you skipped all those cuts. Now, did you place 2 over 1? Yes, you did. Did you place 2 over 3? No. So you take the second cut and then the third cut. So it'd be minus 9 for that right there. And then did you place 1 over 3? You did. So you take minus 4. So what is 9 plus 4? It is 13, guys. I'm concerned now. So 50 minus 13 puts you at a 37. So for 4, 3, 1, 2, you had 4 over 2, you had 4 over 1, you had 4 over 3. You had 2 not over 1, so you take minus 5 from this cut. And then you did not have 2 over 3, so then you take these 2, so it'd be minus 9. You have 1 over 3, so you take minus 4. What's 9 plus 9? 18. 18. Okay. So 18 minus 50 would put you at a 32. Wasn't expecting you to do math, you guys. Okay.
46.
You had a question about this? Okay, so I'll walk you through this one, okay? So off this placing right here, it's 4 over 1.
Yes.
Yes, so you would not take the minus 3 cut. Okay, it's 4 over,
Wait a second. 4
over 2.
is 4 over 2?
4
No,
over 2,
No.
it's not.
no, so you take a minus 3, because this cut applies to right here. now it's 4 over 1. Yes. So,
No
if it
cuts.
wasn't- No cuts. But if this was switched, you take the cut 3, which applies to here, cut 5 that applies to here. B minus 8 in general. So now it's 4 over 3 in this placing. No. Okay, so when I say 4 over 3, I mean like 4 is placed ahead of 3.
Is 4 ahead of 3 and 3, 2, 4, 1?
3 in this. No. So you take all the cuts from all these places. So minus 3, minus 5, minus 4. You got minus 12. Okay. It's 2 over 1 in this placing.
Yeah.
Yes. So you wouldn't have to take the minus 5. Is 2 over 3.
No.
No. Okay, so you take a minus. Okay, so this cut doesn't apply anymore because this cut only applied right here. This would be your 3 cut, 5 cut, and then your 4 cut. So this is really hard. Okay, so where was I? 2 over 3. So you take the minus 5 and the minus 4. That'd be minus 9. Okay, and then is 1 over 3.
No.
No. So you take the minus 4 cut, because that's where the 4 slips in. Sorry, there's confusion. Okay, so now we got all these together. So 15, 24, 28. So you get a
30.
22.
12. No, and do 12. It's 22. Thank you, Noah. My math wasn't working out.
Okay, I just used the calculating.
Don't use the calculator.
I used the calculator until I figured this out, and it's a lot quicker. So you can kind of see what you, out of 50, this is how what you did. So you guys right there just had a bottom pair switch. Didn't kill you in the end. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do another class. Well, at least we'll try.